good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to the Bourse Report. Well, today we'll be taking a look at the first quarter performance of equity markets, both at the local regional level as well as the international level. Now, both markets would have had some varying fortunes. Let's take a look at what some of those drivers would have been and what investors might expect in the coming months ahead for local and international stocks. Turning firstly to that local/regional flavor in terms of the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange performance. Well, there was a broadly lower performance over the first quarter of 2024. The All Trinidad and Tobago Index, for example, down 1.2%. The cross-listed index, which includes names such as Grace Kennedy and First Caribbean International, FCI, to name a few, also down 1.8%, and the composite index down 1.3% in that blue, which is a blended composite of both the All TNT and the cross-listed index. So certainly some modest decline over the first quarter of 2024, continuing from some negative performance in 2023 overall for local/regional equity markets. Now, when you take a look at some of the major movers on the Trinidad and Tobago Composite Index, we can see that at the best performing end, there was Prestige Holdings Limited, who would have reported higher earnings and revenues overall, much to the delight of investors, up just about 29% odd. Whitco up a whopping 24% as well in just the first quarter alone, on the heels of stabilized and marginally improved revenues as well as earnings and a robust dividend, which would have caused investors to react quite positively to their latest earnings results. And certainly that positive momentum or price momentum has continued into the second quarter, which we'll report on in a few weeks as well. GMMB Group Limited, despite some weaker operating performance, the performance of its share in associate company Sagicor would have led to very robust earnings. And of course, the share buyback program would have supported stock prices up just around 12%. Flipdeco and NFM up in 10.8% and 9.3% respectively. NFM, of course, delivering improved performance from an earnings perspective. At the other end of the spectrum, Guardian Media Limited, Guardian Holdings, LG Williams B, and TCL all down in high single-digit to double-digit figures. And TTNGL led the laggards, down 23.7%. Of course, the palpable absence of dividends weighing on investor sentiment with respect to this particular stock and leading the declines on the Trinidad and Tobago Composite Index for that first quarter of 2024. At the international level, when we take a look at the S&P 500, we would notice that the S&P 500 in that first quarter is up or was up 10.2%, driven by broad improvements or broad advances across most sectors, with the leaders in terms of sector performance being the energy sector, which is up 12.6%, as well as communication services up 12.4%, and the financial sector up 12%. On the other end of the spectrum, utilities and consumer discretionary stocks up just about 3.7% and 2.8%. And the worst performing sector, real estate, down just about 1.3%. Of course, the US market and international markets in general have been hopeful of eventual interest rate cuts, as well as receding geopolitical tensions. Those have not really come to pass as yet, but markets seem to be anticipating quite aggressively changes in the current state of affairs, and certainly the current monetary policy and monetary environment, which would help support stock prices at the international level. When we take a look at regional market performance, of course, again, falling from that 10.2% increase in the first quarter of 2024 for the US, European stocks are also up 5.7%, compared to a 9.3% advance in the prior comparable period of 2023. Asian stocks up just 1.3%. Of course, performance in Chinese market weighing heavily on that regional performance, but overall still a positive outcome for that first quarter of 2024 for Asian stocks. And Latin American stocks are up just around 4.8% as well, falling a 3.1% increase in that first quarter of 2023. All of these performances, of course, in US dollar terms. So for equity market drivers, as we conclude the first quarter and move into the rest of 2024, at the local level, there is the prospect of cooling inflation, which would support corporate earnings, of course, resilient earnings. Again, we have been seeing most of the earnings results being relatively positive across most of the sectors on the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Attractive valuations with that negative investor sentiment that would have brought stocks down to some degree over 2022 and 2023 and continued a bit into 2024 there. And combined with those increasing or resilient earnings, we can see that more attractive valuations are on offer for the longer term investor. Of course, this has to be coupled with mixed investor sentiment. Still, it doesn't seem as though investors have begun to get too excited about local equity markets as yet, with those attractive valuations, as mentioned, still on offer. At the international level, stronger corporate earnings continue to support market momentum positively, as well as the prospect of cooling. However, somewhat persistent U.S. inflation. The question of U.S. interest rates having peaked and moving to a downward part of the interest rate cycle is, of course, one area of optimism for investor confidence as well, and what it does in terms of market valuations. Having said that, there seems to be some delay or deferral in terms of just when interest rate cuts will start to take place, and that is being pushed further and further out into 2024. Let's see how that affects markets as we go forward. And of course, geopolitical tensions in multiple areas of the globe continue to rattle to some degree international investor confidence. Well, that's it for this week's edition. For more information, you can give us a call at 2-BORSE or 226-8773. Email us at invest@boursefinancial.com. And of course, you can check out our website where all of our research is absolutely free at bourseinvestment.com. And you can catch this article in the business section of today's Trinidad and Tobago Guardian newspaper. So until next time, stay safe, happy investing, and we'll see you again on the Bourse Report.